Hi, my name is Caleb Howitt, and we're going to be doing a flexibility and mobility workout today. I work for PSP Gagetown. We're going to have a lot of fun. Today, we're not going to be doing, I'm not going to be playing any music today, but you can feel free to play your own music. Okay. So before we get going, I'm going to read off this disclaimer, and then we're going to get started. Okay. In response to COVID-19, PSP is offering telefitness to Canadian Armed Forces members by using social media platforms and telefitness classes tailored to the Canadian Armed Forces personnel become accessible to all. Prior to participating in this session and to make an informed decision on whether you should seek advice from a qualified exercise professional or healthcare provider, consult the Get Active questionnaire of the Canadian Society of Exercise Physiology and its reference documents simply by clicking the links below. So there's going to be 2 links posted with this video, and you're just going to click those and just make sure the workout's right for you. So by continuing with this telefitness class, you understand that there's a possibility of physical injury, and you agree to do so There's a possibility of physical injury, and you agree to do so voluntarily and at your own risk. You assume all risk of injury and agree to release the Canadian Forces Morale and Welfare Services from any and all claims related to your participation in this telefitness class. Okay, so we're going to get started. We're just going to start with some breathing and some yoga, and then we're going to move into our flexibility mobility component. Okay, nice. So today we're going to be doing some low footwork. So footwork, lower leg, then we're going to move to glutes, like medial, and kind of just in the grand scheme. And then we're going to go to our traps and lats and roll those out. Okay, so we're going to hit lower leg, hip, and shoulder. So that's what we're going to do today. So let's get started. Well, if you have a foam roller or a lacrosse ball, those would be very helpful for today. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to start on our back. And we're going to start with something called diaphragmatic breathing. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a deep breath in, and then very slowly let all the air out in your lungs. So once we hit that natural stopping point, I want you to push the rest of the air out of your lungs. Until you have no air left, and we're going to hold that for 10 seconds. 7, 8, 9, 10. Let that air in slowly. Once you hit that natural stopping point, we're going to force as much air into our lungs as we can. And hold that for 10 seconds. 9 and 10. Let that air out. Once we hit that natural stopping point, we're going to press all the air that we can out of our lungs. We're going to hold that for 10. 8, 9, 10. Slowly let that air in. Once we hit that natural stopping point, we're going to force as much air as we can into the lungs. Holding that for 10. And 10. Let that air out. Nice. From there, we're just going to bring the knees into the chest. Keeping our back nice and flat on the ground. Take a nice deep breath. From there, we're going to bridge up. We're going to press to the hips. Squeeze your bum. Our core is active. We're bracing. We're gripping the feet, the floor with our feet. Nice, slow and controlled breaths. From there, we're going to put our bum down. We're going to sit up. Nice straight back. We're just going to lean the chest forward. Nothing too intense. Hands on the leg. Hold this for another few seconds. Okay, coming back up. We're leaning back. We're bringing the legs up into a boat pose. And here we're keeping the back straight, nice and straight as well. Heels in towards. Bring the heels in towards the glutes. Pressing up. And keeping our core nice and tight. Squeezing our bum, gripping the floor. Just holding that position, holding that brace, squeezing through the glutes, gripping the floor with the feet. Dropping the hips down, sitting up. So last time we kept the back nice and straight, leaning forward. Now what we're going to do is we're going to lean forward and around through the back, reach for the feet. I'm going to wait here. Not for too long. We don't want to be too intense here. Now we're coming up. Lean it back. Bring the knees up. Sit in that boat pose. Keeping our back nice and straight, belly tight, core engaged, pillar engaged. Nice. We're just going to lean back. Nice. We're going to roll to the side. Get into our tabletop position. Nice deep breath in. Breath out. Plant our toes in the back. Now we're going to do a light knee lift. Keeping our core nice and tight, back nice and straight. My knees are off the floor. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're dropping the knees back down. Just going to do a cat-cow here. We're going to round up. And then belly back down towards the floor. Round up. Belly button up towards the ceiling. Chin into the chest. Then we're extending out. Belly button to the floor. Head up. Okay, again, we're going to press up. So we're going to brace, we're going to press up. Just knees floating off the floor. Just holding that tension. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then just round up. And then flatten out, bring the head out. I'm going to round out. Flatten out, bring the head up. Awesome. Okay, we're going to do one more knee lift. So we're going to find our toes in the back if we haven't already. We're going to lift the knees just lightly off the floor. We want to stay tight. We want that back to stay straight. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Knees back down. Then rounding up. Belly button up towards the ceiling. And then flattening out. Head goes forward. Or head goes up. We're just moving our spine. The reflection, extension. Okay, from there we're going to move into a scap shrug, so we're just going to think about pulling the shoulders down towards our bum. So my shoulders, if they're up here, we want to pull them down towards my bum. Try to tuck your shoulder blades into your back pockets. Pulling them down, and then we're going to bring the chest towards the floor and then press away. But we're always keeping those shoulders down towards the glutes, or just tucking those shoulder blades in your back pockets. So we don't want our shoulders to be coming up by our ears. We want everything to stay in proper placement. Here we're going to put one hand on the head. We're going to try to bring our elbow to our pinky. Just rotating through the spine. We're keeping that arm on the floor straight. Reaching the elbow up, down. Two more on this side. 1, 2. Switching sides, hand on the head. We're coming down towards the pinky, rotating through the upper back, and come up to the top, and that movement, back and forth. Two more, everyone. Back and forth. Nice. Okay, from here, we're going to do our bird dog hold. So we're going to hover one hand on opposite knee. Just going to lift those off the ground. Try to stay nice and stable through our abdominals. Keeping that shoulder down towards the bum. Hovering. Now we'll switch sides. Hand and knee off the floor. We're just hovering. Hovering off the floor, trying to keep the trunk nice and stable. Okay, again. On the left, we're going to have some movement in there. Going back to that original side, we're just going to extend out, come back in. 1, 2, 3. Out, come back in. 1, 2, 3. Extend out. Try to keep the body nice and flat. 1, 2, 3. Extend out. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's switch sides. Just gonna float the hand, float the knee off the floor, extend out. 1, 2, 3. Come back. 1, 2, 3. Extend out. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Come back in. Oh, whoops. I was doing it the opposite way. Oopsie. Extend out. Come back in. 1, 2, 3. Last one. Extend out. Come back in. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Okay, from here, we're going to get up into a downward dog. Nice. We're going to pedal out the feet. Rock side to side. Gonna walk the hands slightly forward into a high plank. We're gonna lower down, flip the toes in the back, and we're gonna press up into a baby cobra. Nothing too huge. You can even lift the hands. We're just trying to bring the body up, squeeze the bum. So that's gonna protect your lower back. Find our toes in the back. We're going to press back into a downward dog. And we're going to walk the toesies to the hands. We're just going to go into a forward fold. And bring the body up. Cutting off my head. Bring the body back down. Stepping back into a down dog. From here, we're going to lift one leg, doesn't matter which, just one of them. We're going to bring that knee to our belly button, and then back in, up. Then bring that knee to the same arm, and up, and back, and then bring that knee to opposite arm, and back. Nice. We'll bring it down, to the side, we're going to lift that leg. We're going to go knee to belly button, back up, knee to same arm, back up, knee to opposite arm, then press it back up, and then bringing that leg back down. We're going into a high plank, lowering down. Tucking the toes, we're coming up, just a little bit more hand help this time. And lowering down, we're going to press back into a down dog. Wonderful. Okay, so at the beginning of this, we're going to do a little test. Okay? So, you got your lacrosse ball, golf ball, or whatever you need, or a tennis ball could work. What we're going to do is roll at the bottom of our feet. But before we do this, we're going to test out our hamstring mobility. Okay? So, we're going to stand. We're going to try to touch the floor. So my fingers and thumbs are on the floor. I got a slight bend in my knee. Fingers and thumbs on the floor. So I'm going to roll out the bottom of my feet for a minute each and then see if anything changes. So I'm going to get on a solid piece of flooring and then I'm going to just roll out the inside of my foot. So I'll show you what I'm doing. So from here, I want to roll out like the inside here. Like I want the fleshy part. So I don't want to hit much of the calcaneus, the big foot pad in the back. And I don't want to go into these smaller bones at the bottom of the foot. I just want to stay here in the middle. Right? I want to roll in along something called your adductor hallucis. That's really big for keeping the arch of the foot up. So I want to roll in between the end, smaller bones of the foot, and between the calcaneus. So I want to be right in through here. And that's where I'm going to spend most of my time trying to loosen up in through just the arch of the foot. Okay? So we're going to stand up, we're going to roll out that side, we're going to do that for 60, and then we're going to roll out the other side for 60, and then we're going to do a retest. So you remember how far you were from the floor or how many fingers you had on the floor. So we're going to retest after we roll out for 1 minute on each foot. Okay? So, got the timer started. So you guys get the ball. You're going to start rolling out that foot. Okay? I'll just get back so you guys can see it more. You want to do this on a solid surface. Yeah. I'll just roll this up. You guys want to do this on a solid surface so you can, yeah. And if you find something weird and gross, just sit on it for a bit. So that's what we're trying to do today. We're trying to loosen up that foot mechanic. Ugh. Yeah. Because all this stuff can get really, really done up because we use our feet so much. Right? And we just need to take care of it. Take care of them a bit, right? So we're going to roll this out for 60. And if you need to stay on longer, do it. Go for it. This is your mobility class, right? If something feels good and you're like, man, I could do that for 3 minutes, go for 3 minutes. So don't feel like you have to do what I'm saying, right? You can stay on pieces that feel worse, right? So we're just rolling out that foot. Just gonna do a little retest with this one. Awesome. Okay, let's switch sides. Rolling out that foot. We're just searching for something in between those 2 points. So in between the smaller bones of the foot and the calcaneus at the back of the foot. So you just want to stay in the middle there. You want to roll out the softer tissue there in the middle, and the stuff that really gets matted down and all revved up. Yeah, awesome. So we're going to stay here for another 30, rolling out the bottom of the foot. Awesome work, everyone. And then we'll do our retest. Keep rolling out. Keep searching for some weird, gross stuff. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Keep moving. Okay, so that's about 60. Okay, so we've done our 60 seconds on both sides. So let's just do our retest. Set up the exact same way. Oh, I am quite a bit closer to the floor. My legs are a lot straighter. I'm almost getting my knuckle on the floor. So, just right there, that shows you that everything is connected in the body. One thing does not work without the other. So everything works in tandem with each other. Yeah, so that feels a little better already. So now we're going to do a little foot stretch. So what we're going to do here, I'm just going to sit to the back. You're going to bring your heels together in the back of you and toes down, and we're just going to sit down onto our heels. Trying to keep the heel together. If you're not feeling too much for stretch here, that's okay. What we're trying to do is just try to get the foot a little closer to the shin, but don't reef on the toes too much. So we really want to think about keeping the heels together and just sitting back, just getting those toes a good stretch. Okay, yeah, just hanging out here comfortably and patiently. So we're going to hold this for another 60. I'm just going to grab that. So I can see how much time is flying. Nice work, everyone. Awesome. Just sitting back on those feet. And if you have really flexible feet and ankles, then good. That's awesome for you. Just try to move deeper into it, but just don't overdo it. We only should be mildly uncomfortable in any stretch that we do. We shouldn't be crazy uncomfortable. Awesome. So we got another 15 seconds left. Okay, so what we're going to do next is we're going to do an anterior ankle mobility or rollout. We're going to move our mat again if you need to. Well, oh. Yeah. Okay. So what we're doing here is we're going to be in this kneeling crouch position. Nice. We're going to take the ball and we're going to be kneeling on it, but there's this muscle at the front of your lower leg. It's called your anterior tibialis. So if you find your shin bone, you should make that knocking sound. If you find your anterior tibialis, your tibia, right to the side of it in the front, you should find, like right to the right of it on your right leg and right to the left of it on your left leg, you should find this ooey gooey mess of muscle. We want to stick the ball there. So we're going to start close to the ankle, but we don't want to be rolling on bone. We just want to be rolling on tissue. So we take the ball, put it close, maybe 6 inches up from our ankle, and we're just going to roll out on the shin bone. Nice. And we're just going to look, well, not on the shin bone, beside the shin bone. Sorry. Roll it beside the shin bone, not on bone, just on tissue. And we're just looking for something that's, oh, found it, something that just doesn't feel right. Because this gets really matted up, and not a lot of people pay attention to the anterior tibialis. Because if this gets all junked up, then our squat is going to be a little less effective, because we're not going to be able to dorsiflex. So dorsiflex is just bringing our foot closer to our shin. That's all it is. So if we're better at bringing our foot closer to our shin, we're going to be better at squatting. So this is a really good one for people who squat a lot. Yeah, and run. Yeah, just for humans. Yeah, so we're gonna roll this out, I think, for 90 seconds, because oh man, for me, this gets really, really angry. So not on bone, just on tissue, just to the side of your shin bone. On the right leg, it would be to the right side. On the left leg, it would be the left side of the tibia. So that anterior shin bone. Nice work. Oh man, let's go back to that. Oh yeah, and if you find a spot that just doesn't feel right, just sit on it. But we want to stay relaxed. We want to stay in control. We don't want to be wildly uncomfortable. We only want to be mildly uncomfortable in these positions. Because if we're not relaxed, then we're not mobilizing. You guys are doing great. So we got another 30 seconds on the shin. Awesome. You guys are doing great. Okay, we got another 10 here. We're just rolling out that front of that ankle. Or the front of that shin. Okay. We're going to switch sides. We're going to start about 6 inches from the ankle. We're going to put that underneath. If we're on the left side, we're going to go to the left side of the tibia, or the anterior lower leg bone. And we just want to be on muscle tissue. So we're going to start rolling on this side. Anterior compartment. Oh my word. Yeah. Yeah. And breathe, Caleb, breathe. Yeah, if we want to put more weight on it, we can sit back more. But remember that we only want to be mildly uncomfortable. We don't want to be anything more, right? Yeah. This muscle here can get so jumped up. Yeah. Because we use it so much. Oh. So we're just going to stay here for 90 seconds working on this piece. Nice work, everyone. We got about 25 seconds left on this leg. Nice work, everyone. Almost there. And okay, we can take that ball out from underneath the shin. So what we're going to do is we're going to stretch out our ability to dorsiflex. So we're going to do an Achilles stretch. So we're going to bring one foot up beside our leg, and what we're going to do is we're going to lean that leg forward. So we're stretching out the top leg here, and all we're doing is just leaning forward, trying to keep our foot flat on the floor. I'll give you another angle. So the foot down on the ground, and we're just leaning forward. Give you the other side. Foot down on the ground, we're just leaning forward. We're just trying to stretch out right through here and along the back as well. But you'll probably feel it more in the back of the leg than the front. Or we're just trying to lean that chin forward. I'm going to stay here for about 60. You may find that you have more range out to the side. That's a lot of compensation that squatters usually do. If they don't have the range, they turn the feet out, move the leg out, just to give them more of a range. And people's hips are made differently as well, so sometimes you have to turn out the feet. But if you turn the feet out too excessively, then you probably have an ankle mobility issue. Switch sides. So I'm just going to turn so you can see this. Bring the leg up. Oh, yeah, a little rock. Okay, and then we're just leaning that knee forward, heel on the ground. Trying to keep the foot fully flat on the floor. We're just leaning that knee forward. If you can't get in this position, you can always widen it out as well and lean that knee forward as well. You can always add a little tension on the top of the leg by using the elbow, but we're just trying to stretch out that Achilles, bring the shin a little closer to the foot. And don't try to force this too much. It should be mildly uncomfortable. That's it. This one usually takes the longest in the body to mobilize because you have to actually mobilize two bones to splay out as one bone tracks forward. So just right here in the ankle joint. So be patient with this one. But if you're consistent with it, 6 months, if you're consistent with this, doing once or twice a week, then your ankle mobility will really improve. Nice work, everyone. From there, we're going to bring that leg down. Okay. Then we're going to do something called an anterior ankle stretch. I'm going to stand up. So my hand's going to get cut off, but that's okay. We're going to be on the top of our toes like this, kind of like a dancer, but folding the toes back, and then we're going to extend the ankle out forward. We're going to do an anterior ankle stretch. So we just stretch out the posterior, the back of the ankle joint. Now we're going to stretch out the anterior of the ankle joint. And this one you can control really well. There's a few others that are a little harder to control. So this one's the most controllable variable. And you want a straight ankle. I don't want the ankle out to the side. I want everything lined up. So line up with the hip, the knee, and the foot. Stretching out the anterior ankle, holding that position. I'm going to do this for 60. Making sure the ankle, the knee, the hip is all lined up. We're stretching out that anterior ankle. That's 60. Let's switch sides. Roll forward. Yeah. Making sure the ankle and the knee and the hip are all lined up. Ooh, this side's definitely tighter on me than the other one. So just stretching out the front of that ankle, front of that shin. So when we're mobilizing, it's really important to mobilize on all sides of the joint. So not just stretching one, but stretching the other as well. So we don't want to stretch the posterior side of the ankle and not stretch the anterior side of the ankle. We don't want to stretch the back of the ankle and not the front of the ankle. Because then if one side's really mobile and one side's really not, something might get stuck, might have like a jarring motion happen, or there might be grinding that doesn't need to happen just because one side is very mobile and then one side is very lax. So we want that tension on both sides to be relatively the same. We want to be loose, limber, and mobile, but we want we want to be loose, limber, and mobile, but we want to do that with we want to do that in tandem, or we want to do that in balance. Okay, we got 15 seconds left. Awesome. Okay, now we're gonna get into the glutes. I'm just gonna check the time here, everyone. Just make sure that we have time. Oh man, time flies. Really, time flies. Man, oh man. So we're just gonna roll out the glutes, put that ball underneath the bum. Just rolling back and forth, up and back on that glute. So we can leave the leg out like this. We're going to hit some serious pieces, but if we bring the leg up and over, we can actually really expose some stuff that doesn't get hit too much, or piriformis. Yeah, and but mine's feeling pretty loose today, actually. So if yours doesn't feel that bad, if there's nothing too crazy there, you can relax the leg. And then just searching the strokes. I was hitting something before that felt good. So if you want to hit the piriformis, wrap that leg up over. If you want to hit something higher on the glute med, TFL on the side of the hip, if those are really tight, because mine, my glute med is just lit right now. So it's just tight, it's just like a ball. So I'm going to hit that. But you guys search in the strokes. So you guys search for what is the most needed point I need to mobilize, right? Because only you know where you feel it, right? Because I can only guess. I have an educated guess, but you guys know that specific point. Nice. So just rolling out this out. We're going to do this for about 60 seconds, just trying to loosen that glute up. Feel like something changes, then shift your position, try to find something else. Ooh, there it is. All right, the glutes are a really big muscle, so it's always good to search for more trigger points, because they usually are. Yeah, so just looking for those glute points. Okay, and we'll switch sides, everyone. Okay, so yeah, if you want to hit the piriformis, just bring the leg up and over, right? And if you don't find anything gross, disgusting, and awful in there, it's feeling pretty good on me today, you can always search in the stroke with the leg down, more relaxed position. And we're looking up higher on the glute, towards the glute med, so up on the side of the body, or the TFL more anterior. Yeah. So just looking around for something that just doesn't doesn't feel great, and we're just looking to mobilize that, get that moving. And if we find a point, just sit on that. I'm going to stay here for about another 45 seconds. And don't forget to breathe. Keep the face relaxed. Don't tense up. The point of this is to relax, right? Because if we're not relaxed, then we're not going to do the work that is going to feel so good. We're not going to do the work that really it gets at the points. Yeah. So, yeah. Oh, and I just tensed up my face, right? So, just moved on something that just felt like, whoa, that's a point right there. That's really really active. that is unhealthy tissue right there. So I just need to make that more healthy by rolling it out, bringing more blood flow to it. Yeah. But breathing through it. That's the key. Keeps your face relaxed, keeps your body relaxed. Not a fast-paced breathing, just nice and slow. Nice. Okay, from there, in your brain, the mat back out. We're going to do a TFL stretch, tensor fascia lata. So we're going to stay in a lunge stance, active toe in the back. What we're going to do is we're going to push this hip outwards. So I'm going to switch directions. So we're going to lean our hip to the side, lean our body to the side. We can bring our arm up and over. So I'm going to feel a stretch coming down here. We want to feel it going through the hip. We feel it higher. Then that is totally okay. I'm feeling it in my oblique right now. I want to feel it in the TFL too. So we're just going to position, search and destroy it. Look for that position. Then we can feel it hook from the just top in the lat area all the way down to the side of the knee. Oh, I hit it right there. Yeah. So we're just doing that lean. If you got a wall, you can hold on to the wall. You can control this more. Just getting that lateral aspect of the hip and the body. You got 20 more seconds here. Okay, let's switch sides. Coming out. Leaning the hip out, hand on the head. Nice. Hold. Around 40 seconds there. We got 20 left. Just leaning that hip to the side. Okay. Coming down. Wonderful. So that's class for today. Hope you had a wonderful time. And we'll see you next week and do some more mobility, have some more fun, and get a workout in. So thank you all for coming out. I hope you had a wonderful time. It really means a lot to us at PSP Gagetown that you guys come out and you guys exercise and stay mobile and limber and fit with us. Okay, awesome. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.